What's up guys, it's your Fit Doc aka Kristen Simone, and I'm back with your weekly dose of medicine. So today I'm giving you just a little update on first year and how the first year of medical school is going. If you are new here, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kristen and I'm a first year medical student, and I hope that you get something from this video. Please feel free to watch my daily vlogs, my weekly vlogs. I love talking and just like taking you all along with just the daily things that I do throughout this journey. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is a vibe, okay? And it's free, and it does wonders for me. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified every time that I post a video. And let's get started with what I have to say. Is this crooked? Anyways, so y'all, I'm a first year medical student. I've said it like 5 times now at this point, and I am halfway through my first year at this point. Oh no, I'm more than halfway through. I'm halfway through my foundation phase. So let me actually get into the curriculum and explain to you exactly how my medical school does things. So as a first year medical student, I have 18 months of foundation phase. Foundation phase is whenever you're basically just in lecture, you're learning, you're taking tests, you're doing quizzes, you have small groups, and you're really just learning the basics of medicine, right? You're going through different blocks of the body system. So my blocks consisted of immunology for the first block. Well, no, I'm lying. Principles of medicine was our first block, which I honestly couldn't even tell you what it was. It was just a mixture of like foundation stuff that we should know, like transcription, translation, DNA, synthesis, stuff like that. And then we had immunology as our second block. Then we had hematology and oncology. And after that we had cardio. Then we had respiratory. And then after respiratory we had renal. And now I'm moving on to GI system right now. And after GI we'll have musculoskeletal system. And then we'll be finishing up in May. And then we'll start again and we'll have like 5 months worth of content for next year, and then we'll move on to taking step 1. Our school does things by blocks. We do things by body system, and we have about like 2 to 3 tests per block. Most of the time we have 3 tests per block, but lately it's been 2 because they kind of rushed us through respiratory and renal. And for GI, I think we have 3, but I'm not really sure. So anyways, that is what we go through. And for foundation phase, it's consistent of those things. We have 18 months worth of material. After that, we take step 1, then we move on to application phase where we're actually in the clinical setting. So after step 1, I'm planning to take step 1 in the beginning of February of next year. And after that, I'll be moving on to doing my clinical. So technically, second year for my school is really only like 6 months. And then you'll be moving on into like your 3rd year of like your clinical rotations and things like that. During your 4th year, you have like an individualization phase. You can sign up for your own AIs, acting internships. That's what that means. So basically, if you're interested in like ENT, you can do an ENT elective. You can work wherever you want with an ENT physician. Like it could be anywhere in the States. Whatever you want to do, that's your choice. So you can do that during your 4th year, and that's like the individualization phase. And so after that, you'll be graduated and you'll have experience in the area that you want to actually train in, and that will help you in the long run. So that's how my school does things. So far, I love it here. I mean, it can be very stressful at times, but I love what I'm learning, and I'm so grateful to be here. And I think any advice for anyone that's watching this video that's a medical student that just needs some encouragement, or is a pre-med student, is to really just think about how much you wanted this. Think about how much you wanted it. Think about the feeling that you got, the butterflies in your stomach whenever you first received your acceptance, whenever you first got that phone call from a school, or whenever you first received that letter out of the mail from the school that wanted to accept you as a medical student. Think about that time. Think about how you felt. Think about how bad you wanted it. Think about how bad and how hard you worked to study for the MCAT, how bad you juggled jobs to be able to still maintain living and still being able to get those pre-medical experiences, because we all know that a lot of pre-medical experiences don't pay you much. And it really is a sacrifice. So think about that. Think about those things and how bad you wanted it, and just know that you're here. You are where you prayed for. So hopefully that provides some encouragement for you. If it doesn't, because I know that these can get hard, just think about the people that you'll be affecting daily after you graduate. Think about the positive impact that you'll be having on people's lives. Think about the patients that are grateful to see you. Representation is important. So specifically for underrepresented minorities, think about the patients that you'll be seeing, that you'll be representing, that you'll be advocating for. Think about the impact that you'll have on their lives. Think about an inspiration that you're being for other Black and brown children around the world. Being a motivation and inspiration to them and helping them know that they can be whatever they set out to be. So just think about those things and know that, you know, this too shall pass. This is 4 years, and depending on how your school does things, it's 2 years of like lecture-based learning, if your school does that at all. And so it will pass. It's not going to be here forever. And you really are working towards your dreams, and you can do this. You can do this. You were good enough to get accepted. You will be good enough to get through it and graduate. So now that I'm done rambling, that is what gets me through it. I think what I've noticed is that people have said different things about like different blocks at my school, and how cardio and renal were the hardest blocks, and they were just saying like, you know, oh gosh, if you can get through those blocks and you'll get through anything. And I think for me, I never really fit the standard for other people's like feedback when it comes to those things. The things that people think are hard to me aren't necessarily hard to me. I think cardio, I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't hard. Like, the material itself was not hard. The hard is a pump. It's a pump, it's a machine, it makes sense. You don't have to necessarily think about like the formulas or different concepts, because it's a machine. So to me, the concepts that we learned made sense without me actually having to like study super hard for certain things. I think what sucked about my school was that some of the questions that we got asked on our exams were like step 2 type questions. If you don't understand what that means, step 1 is supposed to be more like non-clinical. A lot of step 1 questions, they don't necessarily relate to like what you're going to see in the hospital, what you're going to see in the clinic. It's very much textbook. It gives textbook, okay? Just to give you an idea, this is my step 1 book that I study from. It gives textbook. It gives like not realistic, you feel me? Step 2 is more realistic. It's more clinical. So it's gonna ask you, it may not even be that much more realistic, so I take that back. I think it's more so clinical, like what would you do next? How would you counsel the patient? And that's kind of what our questions were in regard to our cardio exam. One of our cardio exams that made it really hard. And so, you know, just to give you an example, like I averaged pretty much at like a high B on my tests, even though like it's pass fail, but like I got a 79 on that one of those cardio exams because of the way that some of the questions were worded. I just didn't feel like we were properly prepared, but the content itself was not hard. As far as renal, I will say that I didn't like the renal block. It was just a lot going on at once. And I think for me, I hold leadership positions, and I was in the middle of like finishing a research proposal. And so it was just a lot for me. I was getting burnt out. So I did fail my first test in medical school, and it was a renal exam. It was 2 points away from passing. It was not a final, so I didn't have to retake it or anything. I passed the final with flying colors, but I attribute my fail to just being burnt out and having a lot of things on my plate. I don't necessarily feel like it was the material. I purposely did not study as much for the second exam or for the first exam because I just was tired, y'all. Like I was tired. I was traveling back and forth to my home, and I just had a lot going on. I had 2 events as vice president of Student National Medical Association at my school that I was planning, and I had to finish those events out. I had a lot going on. I don't attribute, again, failing to the material. I attribute it to just the things that I was voluntarily putting myself in certain situations for. As far as where I'm at now, again, I just feel really good about where I'm at. I know that, you know, everybody has their own struggle. So I don't want anyone to compare my experiences to yours or how you think you're gonna be. Everyone is different. I worked really hard to get here, and I've just been very diligent and very conscious about not biting off more than I can chew. I think that during that time specifically, I just had a lot going on as far as my events, but I normally don't plan multiple events in the month as vice president of Student National Medical Association. That's not really what I do, so that was just like, you know, a one-time thing. So I definitely have learned to not put too much on my plate because it's gonna end up stressing me out. What I have noticed though is that as medical students, not even just me, but as my colleagues that I've observed, they have really grown into being great leaders, not just medical students, but just great leaders in the community, great leaders on campus. And I'm just very proud of both myself and my colleagues, because whenever I first started school, I didn't think I would be able to take on leadership positions and take on regional leadership positions and do research and do community service and travel. I didn't think I would be able to do that, but it's just like the flexibility and adaptability that is necessary to be a successful medical student will allow you to do that. And so I encourage anyone, don't hold yourself back. I think that you should just, know yourself, know your limits, and don't stress yourself out. But I do think that as you move on in medical school, you kind of learn like what your limits are, and you learn that your limits start to kind of grow. They start to get higher to where you can accomplish more things. You can be a part of more things. You can have more things on your plate, and you can still be okay and be happy. And at times you'll be stressed just because it's medical school, but it's possible. So I will say that I'm very happy with where I'm at. I encourage everyone to not necessarily be an eager beaver, because we have a lot of those, okay, on campus, but take advantage of the opportunities that you're truly interested in. I mean, I had the opportunity to work in a research project where I was watching surgeries. So I got the opportunity to watch a gallbladder removal, or cholecystectomy, that's what like the fancy term is. And that was really nice. I am working on a breast cancer research project because I'm interested in surgical oncology, specifically with the breast. If you didn't know, I work as a medical scribe under a hematology and oncology physician, a hemonc physician. You should watch this vlog if you haven't, because it's my daily life whenever I was a pre-med. But yes, so I did that and I really enjoyed breast cancer. I love women's health. I love seeing the women come out on the other side and beat breast cancer. I love to see it. It was very heartwarming. And so now I work and do a breast cancer research project with one of the doctors on campus. I'm also vice president of Student National Medical Association, as I've said, and I'm actually the North Regional MAPS liaison. So basically MAPS stands for the Minority Association of Pre-Med Students. And I work for the North Carolina, South Carolina, and the Caribbean schools to ensure that all pre-meds have the opportunity to be associated with a MAPS program. That way they can obtain resources and be able to put themselves in the best position to be able to become a doctor. So I'm doing all those things, and we just had spring break, so I just came back from Jamaica, watched that last vlog. Y'all, I'm really promoting my vlogs right now. Watch this vlog, okay? Watch the vlogs. The vloggy vlogs are coming. So yeah, we just went to Jamaica to celebrate our spring break. So everything's going really well. I just wanted to give a quick update and give a word of encouragement for anyone that may be just feeling down in the dumps. I am going to be doing another video about what you should be doing right now if you're pre-med and you're looking at this video. So please stay tuned for that. Again, so this was just like a, an update video. So if you're watching, I appreciate it. Your support does not go unnoticed. Please, if you're watching, I know that like my pharmacy technician videos get so much love, which I'm so grateful for, but y'all, I am no longer a pharmacy technician. So the questions that I get asked, like I'm still getting questions about like the guidelines and the test and the exam and like how much it costs and does this apply here and here and here? I have no clue, y'all. I'm no longer a pharmacy technician anymore. I did that because I wanted to add to my pre-med experiences, and that was it. I don't do anything else. I will never work as a pharmacy technician again. So my videos, to me, as far as like how I became a pharmacy technician in 2 weeks, those videos, I feel like that video specifically is not applicable to 2023 anymore. I was a pharmacy technician back in like 2019, 2020. My experience doesn't apply anymore. So I'm so sorry for anyone that is like looking for answers. I don't have them anymore. So my channel is primarily geared towards pre-med, med school, residency, and being a physician. Thank you so much for watching. Again, your support does not go unnoticed, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to drop any questions you have down in the description box, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Again, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in my next.